Imagine a top chief executive, managing a billion-dollar company.
Right.
You might think their secret weapon is some highly complex software system, or maybe working 100 hours a week.
Yeah, that is definitely what most people picture.
Exactly. But looking at our stack of sources today, which includes behavioral science journals and interviews with highly successful leaders, well, the real secret to their success is incredibly boring.
Oh, totally.
It is basically going to bed on time.
Which really tells us that success is rarely what it looks like from the outside. I mean, when we see a famous book or a giant company, we are only seeing the finish line.
Right.
We do not see the quiet daily actions that actually built that success over time.
And uncovering those daily actions is our mission today in this deep dive into the hidden habits of successful people.
Yeah, and we should mention our goal for today's format, too.
I was just getting to that, because today's deep dive is specially tailored for you, our listeners, who are working to improve your English. So we are going to speak slowly, take our time, and explain useful vocabulary along the way.
Exactly. We really want to keep things clear and easy to follow.
Right. Our goal is to look behind the curtain. And let me explain that idiom for our listeners. Looking behind the curtain means looking at the hidden truth.
Like in a theater.
Yes, exactly like a theater. The magic happens on stage, but all the hard work happens out of sight, behind a heavy curtain.
So we want to pull back that curtain today. We want to explore the science and the mechanics of how small, simple actions create extraordinary results.
So we invite you to get comfortable, grab a drink, take a slow, deep breath, and let's explore these ideas together.
Sounds perfect.
Let's start with a surprising place, the time before the day even begins.
Yeah, this part of the research is really fascinating.
It is. Our sources show that highly successful people do not actually start their success in the morning. They start it the night before, beginning with how they view rest.
Right.
So let's talk about the sleep myth. And can we break down what a myth is for our listeners?
Of course. So a myth is a popular story or belief that many people think is true, but it is actually false.
Like a rumor that just got too big.
Exactly. And in our culture, there's a very common myth that successful people never sleep. We imagine them working all night, drinking endless cups of coffee.
Right, the whole hustle culture thing.
Yes. But the behavioral science journals in our sources, well, they completely destroy this idea. True high performers protect their sleep heavily. They aim for 7 to 8 hours every single night.
I mean, I understand that being tired makes you feel bad, but with such busy lives, how do they justify spending a whole third of their day sleeping?
It is a good question.
What is physically happening during that time that makes it so valuable?
Well, it comes down to a biological process. It works sort of like a cleaning crew for your brain.
A cleaning crew?
Yeah, literally. While you sleep, your brain actually shrinks just a tiny bit.
Wait, really? It changes size?
It does. And this allows a special fluid to wash over your brain cells. This fluid, it washes away the chemical waste products that build up while you are awake and thinking all day.
Oh, wow. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it is incredible. But if you only sleep 4 or 5 hours, that cleaning crew does not finish the job. You wake up with chemical waste still trapped in your brain.
So it is not just about feeling rested. Without that brainwashing system, your brain literally has garbage left inside it.
Precisely.
No wonder tired brains make poor decisions. I mean, you are basically trying to think through physical blockages.
Yes, and that physical block is why we get angry easily or, make terrible mistakes when we are tired.
Yeah.
Sleep is not a sign of laziness. It is a strict biological requirement for your brain to function.
That makes the next habit from our sources very logical. Because they value this clean brain so much, they also try to protect it from stress.
Right, by planning ahead.
Exactly. They do this by planning their next day the night before. They write out their complete to-do list before their head even hits the pillow.
The psychology behind this is so interesting. The human brain hates unfinished tasks.
Oh, tell me about it.
Right, so if you go to bed knowing you have a busy day tomorrow, your brain creates what psychologists call open loops.
Open loops?
Yeah, it keeps reminding you over and over so you do not forget. And the spinning thought process, well, it prevents deep sleep.
So writing the plan down acts as a kind of download. It is like taking the worry out of your head and putting it onto a piece of paper.
Exactly.
And once it is on paper, my brain realizes the information is safe. It closes those open loops, which allows the mind to finally power down and rest.
And that download provides a massive advantage the next morning.
How so?
Well, when a highly successful person wakes up, there is zero wasted time. They do not sit on the edge of the bed feeling confused, burning mental energy trying to decide what to do first.
Because the decision was already made yesterday. Which brings us to the morning itself. The sources note a real pattern of waking up quite early, often well before sunrise.
Yeah, the 5 a.m. club.
Right. And the goal is to capture the early morning quiet.
Because before the rest of the world wakes up, there are very few distractions. The phone is not ringing. There are no new emails demanding your attention.
That quiet space is incredibly rare in the modern world.
It really is. And they use this silent time not to jump straight into hard work, but to gently prepare the mind and body.
Right. And one of the preparation habits mentioned is reading. The articles highlight that reading for just 15 minutes a day is a common trait among top performers.
Which is amazing, right?
It is. 15 minutes sounds almost too small to matter.
It looks small until you do the math. If you read for 15 minutes every single day, well, you will read roughly 15 to 20 books over a single year.
Wow. That really adds up.
It does. It is a massive amount of new knowledge. It acts like compound interest for your brain.
Small, daily deposits that grow into a fortune of knowledge over time. I like that a lot.
It is a great way to look at it.
Now, after they have slept well, downloaded their worries, and prepared their mind, the actual workday begins.
Right. Time for the heavy lifting.
And we have to address how they handle massive amounts of work. The secret, according to our research, is not trying to do everything. It is carefully managing their energy.
Yes.
And this brings up my absolute favorite English idiom from the sources, eating the frog.
I should assure our English learners right away, we are not talking about consuming real frogs here.
No, definitely not. Eating the frog is an idiom. It is just a funny expression.
Right. And the idea is this. If you know you have to eat a live frog today, well, you should do it first thing in the morning.
Because if you do not, you will spend your entire day feeling anxious, dreading that terrible meal.
Exactly. So in the workplace, the frog is your hardest, most important task.
The one you really want to avoid.
Yes. Most people avoid the frog. They come to the office, check their email, maybe organize their desk, do small, easy things to delay the hard work.
But avoiding the hard work drains your energy all day long.
It does. But doing the hard task first actually changes your brain chemistry.
Really? How?
When you finish a difficult project, your brain releases dopamine. And dopamine is a chemical that makes you feel happy, proud, and motivated.
Ah, I see.
So by eating the frog at 9 in the morning, you get a rush of dopamine that makes every other task that day feel much easier.
So to get that difficult task done, our sources emphasize another habit, single tasking, focusing deeply on just one thing rather than multitasking.
Right.
Now, we hear the word multitasking a lot where people try to do 5 things at once. Why is the brain so bad at multitasking?
Well, because the brain cannot actually do 2 complex things at the exact same time. It has to rapidly switch back and forth between tasks.
It's like bouncing a ball between 2 walls.
Exactly. And psychologists call this a context switching penalty.
Context switching penalty. Could you explain that?
Sure. Every time you switch from writing a report to, say, checking your phone, your brain pays a penalty. It loses focus. And it can take up to 20 minutes to get fully, deeply focused again.
20 minutes just from looking at one text message.
Yes.
I have to admit, keeping that deep focus feels nearly impossible today. Our phones are designed to interrupt us constantly.
They are?
We get text messages, news alerts, social media notifications every few minutes. Are successful people just magically able to ignore their ringing phones?
They do not rely on magic.
Oh, no.
And they actually do not rely on willpower either.
Oh, really? Then what do?
They rely on systems. Instead of letting the phone interrupt them, they take control of the tool. They use a technique called batching.
Batching.
Yeah. So they might set a rule for themselves. Like, I will only check my messages at 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon.
And the rest of the time?
Outside of those times, the phone is put away entirely, out of sight.
So they treat the phone as a tool they use rather than a boss that commands them.
Beautifully said, yes.
But that requires setting firm boundaries, which links directly to another hidden habit we found, which is the ability to say no.
Saying no is deeply uncomfortable for many people.
It is, because we want to be nice and helpful.
Right. But energy is a limited resource. Every time you say yes to a low-priority meeting or a random favor, you are stealing time from your own most important goals.
So saying no acts as a protective filter for your time.
Exactly. Because if you say yes to too many things, you force your brain to juggle too many priorities.
Right.
And that leads to something our sources call decision fatigue.
Let's explore the mechanics of this. For our listeners, the word fatigue means a deep, heavy tiredness.
Right. So imagine your ability to make good choices is like a battery in your phone.
Okay, I have my battery.
Every morning, you wake up with a fully charged decision battery. But every single choice you make uses up a small percentage of that battery.
So waking up and deciding what clothes to wear uses 5%. Deciding what to eat for breakfast uses another 5%. Deciding which podcast to listen to on the drive to work uses even more.
Exactly. So by the time you sit at your desk at 9 in the morning, well, your battery might be half empty before you have even started working.
Oh, wow.
And this physical drain on the brain is decision fatigue. When the battery is low, the brain starts making lazy, poor choices.
You know, this perfectly explains a really strange detail I noticed in the executive interviews.
Which one?
Highly successful people like former U.S. President Barack Obama or Apple founder Steve Jobs, they were famous for wearing the exact same outfit every single day.
Right. The same blue suit or the same black shirt.
Exactly. And it seemed weird to me, but now it makes sense.
Yeah, they were completely removing a daily decision. By wearing the same clothes and eating the same breakfast, they save their decision battery for the choices that actually matter.
Like negotiating a big contract or leading a huge team.
Exactly. They shape their environment to make life simpler.
And the sources mention they also use physical routines to save mental energy. For instance, making a specific cup of tea right before sitting down to work.
Yes, routines are very powerful.
Over time, the brain learns that the smell of that tea means it is time to focus. The transition into work just becomes automatic.
Shaping the environment is huge. If you want to read more, you place a book directly on your pillow in the morning.
So when you go to bed, the book is just sitting there waiting for you.
Right. Or if you want to stop looking at your phone at night, you plug the charger into a wall in a completely different room.
So you basically make good habits physically easy and bad habits physically difficult.
Exactly. You remove the friction.
Okay, let's shift gears for a moment. We have discussed protecting our morning energy and avoiding decision fatigue.
Yes.
But life is unpredictable. A perfect morning routine will eventually fail. A project will crash.
It always happens eventually.
So how do successful people handle the hard times when things inevitably go wrong?
The psychology shifts dramatically here. For most of us, failing feels terrible. We see failure as a giant stop sign, a signal that we are not good enough.
Right. It feels very personal.
But highly successful people view failure simply as data. They see criticism and mistakes as feedback.
Feedback meaning it is just information about what to change.
Exactly. We usually only see the big shiny success, but behind the scenes, that person probably failed 100 times.
The difference is they did not view those failures as personal attacks on their character.
No, they remove their ego from the situation. Instead of crying over the failure, they ask, what is the mechanical problem here? What went wrong? And how can I fix this system?
And finding that fix often requires asking for help. But I noticed that asking questions can feel incredibly embarrassing for a lot of people.
It is a very common fear.
In professional environments, people are often terrified to ask for help because they think it makes them look weak or unqualified.
And shifting that perspective is a core hidden habit. You have to realize that asking for help from a mentor, someone with more experience, is basically time travel.
Time travel? How do you mean?
Well, a mentor has already spent 5 years learning a hard lesson. By asking them a simple question, you can learn that lesson in 5 minutes.
Oh, that is a great way to frame it.
Right. Asking for help is not a weakness. It is an efficiency tool.
The belief that you can always learn and improve sounds exactly like the concept of a growth mindset, which was mentioned in the psychology articles.
Yes, that is a huge part of this.
Let's make sure our learners understand this term. What is a growth mindset?
A growth mindset is the underlying belief that your basic abilities can grow and change through hard work.
Okay. And what is the opposite?
The opposite is a fixed mindset, where a person believes their intelligence is permanently frozen.
So a person with a fixed mindset says, I am terrible at public speaking.
Right. And a person with a growth mindset says, I am terrible public speaking yet.
Yet, adding that tiny word changes the entire sentence.
It really does.
It creates a future where improvement is actually possible. And our sources show this growth mindset is often maintained through the habit of journaling.
Specifically, keeping a gratitude journal.
Right. Now, I have to be honest here. Keeping a journal where you write down things you are thankful for, well, it always felt a bit cheesy or overly sentimental to me.
A lot of people feel that way initially.
Is there actual science behind why writing down good things matters for success?
Yes, there is. It is not just about having happy thoughts. It is about physically changing the blood flow in your brain.
The blood flow.
Yeah. When you are stressed or worried, brain activity is heavy in the amygdala, which is the fear and survival center of the brain.
Okay, that makes sense.
But when you consciously search your memory for things you are grateful for, you force the blood flow to move away from that fear center and into the prefrontal cortex.
And what does the prefrontal cortex do?
That is the logic and decision-making center of your brain.
I see. So it is literally a biological reset. Taking 5 minutes to write down 3 good things physically moves your brain out of a state of panic and into a state of calm logic.
Yes. And as we learned with sleep, a calm brain makes superior decisions.
It also builds patience. We live in a world that demands instant results, but real success takes years.
It definitely takes time.
To maintain patience over those years, successful people build a habit of regular reflection. Taking time each week to look back at their progress ensures they are still moving toward their actual goals.
Right. If the daily habits are the steps you are taking, well, reflection is stopping to look at the map to make sure you are walking in the right direction.
That is a perfect analogy. Now, we have covered the mind quite deeply today, but the final section of our sources looks at the whole person.
Right, because success is not just an intellectual exercise.
Exactly. It involves the physical body and the surrounding community. Let's start with the physical.
The physical habits are treated as non-negotiable.
And non-negotiable means something is not open for debate. You have to do it.
Right. You do not wake up and ask yourself, should I brush my teeth today? You simply do it automatically.
Highly successful people treat daily exercise and proper nutrition the exact same way.
Because the brain is not just floating in a jar. It is attached to a body. Your heart has to pump blood to your brain.
So if the physical machine is broken or tired, the intellectual machine cannot perform no matter how much dopamine you have.
Exactly. And just as they cross-train their bodies, they cross-train their minds through unrelated hobbies.
I found this part surprising. The sources say you will frequently find top leaders who spend their weekends playing the piano, learning a foreign language, or painting.
Yeah, it is very common.
But why unrelated hobbies? If you are a software engineer, shouldn't you spend your free time studying more software?
You would think so, but no. Studying unrelated fields forces the brain to build entirely new neural pathways.
Okay.
It keeps the mind flexible. So when you return to your main job on Monday, those new pathways often allow you to see your software problems from a completely fresh, creative angle.
It is like building new roads in the mind.
Exactly.
That leads us to the final hidden habit, which involves the people around us. Success is almost never a solo journey.
It really is not.
The research heavily features the concept of an accountability partner. Let's explain this phrase for our learners. Accountability basically means being responsible.
Right. So an accountability partner is a friend, colleague, or coach who helps you stay committed to your goals.
Because humans are very social creatures.
We are. If you promise yourself you will go to the gym at 6 in the morning, well, it is very easy to turn off the alarm and keep sleeping.
Oh, definitely.
But if you promise a friend you will meet them at the gym, the dynamic changes.
We hate breaking a social contract. We do not want to look unreliable to our friends. So we use that social pressure as a tool to force ourselves to do the hard work.
Exactly. And that connection to others expands outward into the habit of giving back, mentoring younger workers, supporting charities, or volunteering.
How does giving back help with success?
When your work helps other people, it provides a deep sense of purpose. And purpose is the ultimate long-term fuel. It keeps you moving forward on the days when the work feels incredibly boring.
And finally, they allow themselves to celebrate small wins. They do not wait 5 years until the massive project is perfectly finished to feel proud.
No, they pause on a Tuesday afternoon to acknowledge a small victory.
Which loops right back to our earlier point about dopamine. Celebrating small wins provides the chemical motivation to keep going tomorrow.
All of these habits intertwine. Good sleep creates the energy required to eat the frog.
Right.
Doing the hard work protects your focus. Managing your focus prevents decision fatigue, which allows you to maintain a growth mindset when failure happens.
It is like building blocks, one interconnected system. Let's quickly review the 10 core hidden habits we discovered behind the curtain today.
Sounds good.
1. Protect your sleep to clean your brain.
2. Download your worries by planning the night before.
3. Capture the early morning quiet to read and prepare.
4. Eat the frog to secure your dopamine reward.
5. Simplify choices to save your decision battery.
6. Welcome failure as mechanical feedback.
7. Use questions and mentors as efficiency tools.
8. Shift brain activity to the logic center through gratitude.
9. Treat physical health as non-negotiable.
And 10. Use accountability partners and a larger purpose to maintain your long-term fuel.
For you, our listener, the big takeaway from this deep dive is that you do not need to change your entire life tonight.
No, definitely not.
These habits are just small pieces of a puzzle. Just pick one. Maybe tonight you'll put a book on your pillow.
Or maybe you will write down tomorrow's plan before you sleep.
Pick one small action and see how it feels.
Because none of these actions require extraordinary talent. They only require the willingness to do them.
Which leaves us with something quite provocative to think about.
What is that?
Well, if all of these habits are essentially tools to optimize our energy, save time, and make us more efficient, at what point does the optimization become a distraction itself? Are we building all these perfectly efficient habits so that we finally have the freedom to experience a rich, joyful life?
Yeah.
Or have we become so obsessed with productivity that we are simply trying to turn ourselves into perfectly functioning machines?
Oh, that is a deep question.
It is something to consider the next time you find yourself trying to save just 5 more minutes.